From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
It is 5 o'clock here on your Friday. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Nicole Griffin. Here are your headlines on this December 4th.
It's a major difference in how we can budget for future growth into 2021 and beyond.
Small businesses are worried about their future as the new year could bring a significant tax increase for them amid the pandemic. Their message to Congress this morning.
Increasing COVID rates are taking a toll on Indiana schools. This morning, the growing call for substitute teachers as schools deal with a shortage of staff.
A new grant is helping fulfill a need in the industrial sewing industry. This morning, how you can take advantage of the funding and get connected to a job. We want to welcome you in here to Good Morning Indiana on this Friday, and thank you so much for starting your day with us. Lauren, I know stepping out the door this morning, it didn't feel quite as cold as it did the last few days.
Well, you know, I slept in the last 2 days, so I can attest to that. But right. I did go to Winter Lights at Newfields last night. Okay. And Kyle, it wasn't too bad. You know, we bundled up, but it wasn't too bad out there, especially this time of year. We don't expect too much, right?
Yeah, you know, early December here. And actually today will be a little bit nicer. We'll be a little bit warmer. We already are, as Nicole was saying, but you're still, of course, going to need to turn the heat on in the car. And if you got those heated seats, you'll want those too. We got 30 degrees right now downtown. It does feel a little bit colder than that, though, as we've got that southwest wind between 5 and 10 miles per hour. So it gives us a wind chill this morning of 23 degrees. So layer up for sure. Temperatures that are down to 29 right now in the Greencastle area, 26 for you in Bloomington, where those skies had really cleared out. It's 33 in Tipton, though. And as we look at the satellite and radar, you can see those clouds continuing to dissipate for us this morning. So we are actually going to see a lot of sunshine here once that sun comes up a little closer to 7:30 this morning. Today, mix of sun and clouds for us. Our high temperature making its way into the middle and upper 40s. Lauren has a check of your Friday morning drive.
All right, Kyle, let's take a look right here at I-65. This is near Fletcher Avenue in the downtown area. You can see traffic is moving along smoothly at this hour. Right now, I'm not monitoring any problems for your commute, but of course, we'll continue to keep a close eye on traffic throughout your Friday and let you know if there are any trouble spots you need to avoid. At 5:02, another record high report of new COVID-19 cases across the Hoosier State. State health officials report more than 8,500 cases between November 13th and Wednesday. To date, 359,430 people have tested positive for the virus. And this morning, the state's 7-day positivity rate is now standing at 11.4%. State health officials also report an additional 60 Hoosier deaths related to COVID-19. And since March, 5,748 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19.
Those skyrocketing COVID rates are impacting central Indiana schools. And this morning, our Kelsey Anderson joins us live to show you why a shortage of teachers and support staff could be the deciding factor when it comes to virtual or in-person learning. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Nicole. So I have a brother who's a teacher and nieces and nephews who are in school, and I know that at the top of their Christmas wish list is getting back to that normal school routine. But we spoke to Charlene Little. Her two kids go here at North Central High School, and she says that they're just getting overwhelmed with just sitting in front of their computer every single day. They've spent the majority of their school year at home. So she tells us, again, her two teens are doing well with that virtual learning, but Zoom calls, they're not holding their attention. And at North Central, students were initially removed from classrooms to stop the spread of COVID-19, but now the pandemic is impacting school staffing. Matt Kaiser is the director of human resources for Washington Township schools, and he says there have been days this year when they were strapped for teachers, and without enough substitutes, they had to pull administrators out of their offices and into the classroom.
Pre-COVID, days would typically be into an 80 to an 85% fill rate. And during this time period, we have seen those numbers dip into 40 to 45%. So we often will have multiple positions in buildings that are not covered.
Now, the staffing battle in Washington Township schools is not at all unique to the north side of Indianapolis. It's an issue districts across the state are dealing with every single day. Now, even schools that are operating under that virtual learning, they need substitute teachers and assistants to help with that e-learning. If you are interested in subbing in a classroom or on a bus route, you can check the employment section of each school district's website, or you can go to mykellyjobs.com to see openings at multiple school districts. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson. Wilson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. There is an uptick in the number of Hoosiers filing for first-time unemployment benefits. Here's a look at those latest numbers. During the week ending in November 28th, the Department of Labor says just over 23,000 people in Indiana filed first-time unemployment claims. The week before that, 18,829 Hoosiers filed for unemployment for the first time. Across the country, 712,000 new unemployment claims were filed the week of Thanksgiving. More than 288,000 workers filed for benefits under the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, which gives aid for workers like self-employed and contractors. And the continued jobless claims stood at 5.5 million, down from 6.1 million in the previous week.
Some distilleries say they are at risk of shutting down if Congress does not extend existing tax breaks. Last year, Congress passed a one-year extension of the Craft Beverage Modernization and Tax Reform Act to allow businesses to expand. Now, if the federal excise tax doesn't get extended by December 31st, distilleries could see a 400% tax increase next year. The owner of Hotel Tango Distillery in Fountain Square, Travis Barnes, says this disproportionately impacts craft distilling because of the threshold of taxation.
At 100,000 gallons is really where the first break would occur. So Jim Beam and Jack Daniels make that in the first 2 days of the year, where we would not even come close to that for next year. So that's the big difference on who it really impacts. It's the small guys, not the big guys.
Local distilleries are urging people to contact our Indiana senators to extend the excise tax. We do have a link on how to do that right now at WRTV.com. Just click on this story.
At 5:06, Hiring Hoosiers is WRTV's initiative to connect you to jobs. Recently, Pattern was awarded $50,000 from United Way's Social Innovation Fund. With that money, they plan to host a certified training program with Stitchworks. The training curriculum will fulfill the need for workers in the industrial sewing industry, which has proved to be vital in this pandemic. They want to emphasize their recruitment to poverty-vulnerable individuals, recent immigrants, and recent high school graduates. Polina Osharov is the executive director of Pattern and says that they plan to hire some of the trainees.
We would like to employ some of these people ourselves, just because as a production facility, we're being contacted on a regular basis by a variety of different companies, from companies that make bed sheets to ironing board covers to, solopreneurs who want to launch a collection or like make hoodies and everything in between.
Applications for a new training program aren't open just yet, but Osharov says they hope to have them posted in the next month. They're also looking for monetary donations and industrial sewing machines. Their goal is to help 200 Hoosiers find jobs in the next 5 years.
A food drive is coming to a bus stop near you. Indigo is asking for donations on December 15th. Riders who contribute a canned food good or non-perishable food item as they board on that day will receive a free one-way ride. Donations will be given to the Midwest Food Bank. This offer applies to any fixed route or open door bus service. If you do not ride the bus that day but would still like to donate, you can do so from 8 to 6 at the Carson Transit Center. All right, Kyle, if people are heading out the door to catch the bus or heading into work, what should they expect this morning? Yeah, we got temperatures right around 30 degrees, Nicole. We're kind of living on the edge here in central Indiana. You can see there's some colder air off to the west with numbers widespread in the 20s there. That storm system that's passing us by to the south, that's where some warmer air is. Temperatures in the lower 40s this morning. And as we go through the weekend, we're going to see the cooler air kind of win out for us. What you're going to need to grab, though, if you've got some weekend errands, you'll need the sunglasses because we will have some sunshine out there, some clouds from time to time, and certainly that coat, maybe the hat and gloves if you're going to be out there early in the morning as well. But here's a look at your weekend. 42 degrees with some sunshine on Saturday, a few more clouds around for the second half of the weekend, and temperatures topping out around 40. All right, Kyle, thank you. Well, federal charges against 3 men charged in connection to the 2018 duck boat accident have been dismissed. Straight ahead, why they were thrown out and what's next for the case. IndyCar and IMS announce a major change that could help create more diversity in open wheel racing. Coming up, the details on the new team and their big aspirations. The time right now is 5:09. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Welcome back. It is 5:12. Developing overnight, a man has died after a shooting last night on Indy's southeast side. According to police, they say they found the victim just before 9 o'clock in the 1600 block of Harlan Street near East Minnesota Street. They say the shooting possibly occurred at a different location on South State Avenue. The man was taken to the hospital in critical condition but later died. Police have not released any more information at this time.
New this morning, a federal judge has dismissed criminal charges in the 2018 Missouri duck boat accident that left 17 people dead, including 9 members of an Indianapolis family. The boat's captain and 2 men who ran the company were charged with criminal negligence. Prosecutors argued that they should have known the weather would be too dangerous to navigate. Thursday, the judge ruled that the federal government does not have jurisdiction over the lake. Prosecutors can still appeal the decision. Ripley Entertainment, which owned the former World War II vehicle, has settled 31 lawsuits related to the sinking.
Out in Wisconsin, a court has ordered Kyle Rittenhouse to stand trial for the shooting deaths of 2 men back in August. The Illinois teen is accused of opening fire during the protests against the police shooting of Jacob Blake. He's facing 6 criminal charges, including homicide, reckless endangerment, and possession of a dangerous weapon by a minor. Attorneys for Rittenhouse have previously claimed there's evidence the teen acted in self-defense. Rittenhouse will be arraigned on January 5th.
Coronavirus deaths are on the rise. According to Johns Hopkins, at least 2,879 Americans died from the virus yesterday alone. With cases and hospitalizations also on the rise, President-elect Joe Biden says the coronavirus pandemic is dominating his transition into the White House. Biden is promising a different approach once he takes office. Speaking to CNN, he says once he's inaugurated, he will call on Americans to help slow the spread of COVID-19.
I'm going to ask the public for 100 days to mask. Just 100 days to mask. Not forever, 100 days. And I think we'll see a significant reduction.
Biden also says he plans to keep Dr. Fauci on board as chief medical advisor and part of his COVID team. When it comes to a vaccine, Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris say they'll get one once it is approved and deemed safe, and they want frontline workers like doctors and nurses to get vaccines as well.
The pandemic has some people canceling their plans for the upcoming Olympics. Officials in Tokyo say roughly 18% of the tickets for the event are being refunded. But the organization says it plans to eventually resell those tickets. According to a press release, Tokyo 2020 is making every effort towards holding a safe and secure games next year. The Olympics are scheduled to start July 23rd. The president of the International Olympics Committee says that he hopes an effective vaccine will allow the games to move ahead. Right here at home at 5:15, we got to get a check of our forecast. It is Friday, and we're looking ahead to the weekend, Kyle.
Yeah, we've got it right around the corner, and temperatures that are not too bad out there this morning. It could certainly be a lot colder than this. We got 34 in Shelbyville, Muncie at 36, and 30 degrees in Indianapolis right now. Those winds, they're fairly light. They're under 10 miles per hour. But once we've got those temperatures around 30 and into the 20s, it does make it feel a little bit colder. The wind chill in the Circle City is at 23 right now. It feels like 26 degrees for you in Bloomington and 28 in Greencastle, 27 the wind chill there in Richmond. Weather system passing off to our south. It'll get about as close as the Ohio River today. But that means we are dry for the next 7 days of our forecast. Not going to have to worry about any wet weather out there as far as any rain, and no snow that's going to be accumulating for us either. As we check out your forecast today, those temperatures will be right around 32 degrees here with sunshine at 9 a.m. and that sun will make a difference here. So sunglasses and the coat as you head out the door. Temperatures 43 for you at noon, and as we go into the afternoon hours, we'll find those numbers into the middle 40s. Few more passing clouds, but still more sunshine than anything else for us. That'll get you to 46 today in Richmond, 48 in the Bloomington area, and 49 in Lafayette for the afternoon highs. Tonight with partly cloudy skies, we'll see those temperatures just a little bit colder as we slip back area wide into the 20s, about 29 in Lafayette, Indianapolis, and Richmond. Saturday forecast, though, it's going to be a little bit cooler because we've we've got a cold front that's going to slide through here later this evening and into tonight. While we're not going to see any wet weather with it, it does bring down those temperatures a little bit. So we will be in the lower 30s for you mid-morning, 41 at 2 o'clock, and that's about where we will top out for our highs on Saturday. Going into Sunday, not a big change here. I think we do see more clouds around for the second half of the weekend, and some of us may not get out of the 30s, like Kokomo at 39 Sunday afternoon, 43 for your high in Bloomington, and 41 in the Greenwood area. 7-day planning forecast shows that we've got that high of 47. Feels pretty good when you compare it to what we've got coming our way here Saturday and Sunday. Those highs back around 40 as we get into early next week. The chill lingers into Monday, and then we get a warming trend that will build in here. Highs in the upper 40s by Wednesday and 50 degrees with dry weather a week from today. Lauren.
All right, Kyle, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic. This is up on the northwest side, I-465 near West 56th Street, where you can see traffic is moving along up to speed this morning, both northbound and southbound on that side of town. We'll continue to keep you updated if there are any crashes or delays for your commute, but right now things are smooth sailing. Nicole.
IndyCar wants open wheel racing to be more diverse, and it's helping take steps to make that happen. Thursday, African-American business leader and former team manager Rod Reed announced the formation of Force Indy. That's a race team set to compete in the 2021 USF 2000 Championship. That series is a pipeline for future stars of open wheel racing. Some reach the IndyCar series. Reed brings an expanded relationship with NXG Youth Motorsports, which has introduced thousands of students from underrepresented communities to open wheel racing.
We always dreamed of having a black enterprise that would be oriented towards people of color. And, you know, I want to be clear, this is not the first time that we've had black ownership in cars or teams. But I think this is one of the first times that we will be able to do something that's sustainable.
Team Penske will mentor the new team Force Indy, the new Force Indy team. IndyCar and Indianapolis Motor Speedway say this is a part of their Race for Equity and Change initiative. The WRTV Toy Drive is now underway, and coming up, we'll show you how your donations are helping local organizations serve the community.
Still ahead on Good Morning Indiana, the Marion County Coroner's Office being overwhelmed due to the pandemic and rising number of deadly crimes. Next at 5:30, how the office is coping. It is 5:19. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The time right now is 5:23. Donations were made to the WRTV Toy Drive, and they're going to go to kids all across central Indiana. We're teaming up with local organizations, Nicole, to help make that happen.
Yeah, this morning we're taking a closer look at one of those organizations, Servant's Heart Indy, and how they are serving their community.
Hello, my name is Bill Boone, and I am the Executive Director and Chairman of Servant's Heart of Indy. I am also the co-founder of Servant's Heart. We are a food pantry ministry that serves the southeast corner of Marion County. We provide basic staples, which is vegetables, dry pasta, something to fix for breakfast, sneak a snack in there once in a while. A lot of the families were referred to us by the social workers of the Beech Grove school system. So they knew exactly which families needed food assistance. When we took in the numbers in October, we had exceeded 20,000 lives touched for the month of October. In all of 2019, we only touched 15,026 lives. So that gives you an indication of the great need right now during these times of the pandemic when people are laid off. Well, the toys give the children of the families hope. They can't control what mom and dad does as far as working or not working, but at Christmas time, there's nothing like the joy on the faces of the kids when they get a new toy to them. It's a priceless feeling when the little kid gets a bicycle and they hug you around the leg as they're going out the door. There's nothing like that. Several years back, Linda and I were at the local Long John Silver's, and we were going over the families. That year we didn't have much money to provide for the families, so we were choosing what families were going to get helped. And one of the workers saw that we were doing something, but he was deaf. And so he wrote on a napkin, "Could you help my daughter? I have nothing to give her for Christmas." Linda and I said, "Yep, we're going to get him into the Santa shop." We had a brand new tricycle for his little girl. And it's just amazing how God used a message on a napkin to make sure a little girl had Christmas that year. This is one of the little airplanes that had been made for us by the Central Indiana woodworkers. They make handmade wooden toys all year round, and then they bring them to us to be given away. So when we get more support from folks like the Central Indiana Woodworkers, from WRTV 6, all these folks coming together, God uses it in a mighty way.
Well, we are so happy to be able to help. Tomorrow, members of the WRTV team will collect donations outside of the Fashion Mall, Castleton Square Mall, Hamilton Town Center, and Greenwood Park Mall. You can also drop off items at U-Store locations across Central Indiana. For more information, just go to WRTV.com/toy drive. Kyle, I'll be at Castleton. You and Lauren will be out at Greenwood Mall tomorrow.
Yes, we will, and the weather should be pretty good for it here, just kind of layering up a little bit, but we will have some sunshine around. Temperatures right now are starting off around 30 degrees across much of Central Indiana. A little warmer as you get closer to the Ohio River, but it's the cooler air that's going to be winning out here as we go into the upcoming weekend. You notice on that temperature trend, we'll actually see those numbers fall a little below average as we go through the weekend and into early next week. That puts our high at 47 today, 42 on Saturday, and an even 40 degrees on Sunday. It's 5:27 here on your Friday morning. You're watching Good Morning Indiana.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now at 5:30, with COVID-19 and the increase in homicides, the Marion County Coroner's Office says they are overwhelmed. What they say, they need to continue serving the community.
And in addition to virtual learning, many local schools are also facing a challenge with staffing. Our own Kelsey Anderson explains why many districts say they're in need of substitute teachers. Here at 5:30, I want to thank you for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey, joined by two of my good friends, Nicole and Kyle from our weekend team. Guys, it's always great to have you here.
So good to be here, Lauren. Thanks for having us. And Kyle is standing by. Kyle, you know, it's December. It feels okay outside this morning. You'll still need to get the heavy jacket probably, though.
Yeah, you'll need that, and certainly the heat on if you've got a morning commute here, not working from home. We've got some temperatures that are running 20s and 30s out there this morning, but they are about 5 degrees to even about 10 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. So at least we're warming it up a little bit, but of course, we got to reset reality here. It's all relative, and temperatures right around 30 degrees here in Indianapolis. At the freezing mark for you in clear skies in Lafayette. And you got 26 with clear skies in Bloomington. Not so clear as we get closer to the Ohio River down across Kentucky and Tennessee. Quite a bit of rain there, but you also notice that is mainly tracking off to the north and east. Not expected to get in here and impact our weather today. We will enjoy quite a bit of sunshine, actually. Temperature 28 degrees for you here at 8 a.m. We'll get those numbers to 43 at noon and 45 for that afternoon temperature. Lauren, how are things on the roads this morning?
Things are pretty quiet, Kyle. Here's a look right now at traffic up on the north side. I-465, this is at US 31 Meridian Street, where you can see things are traveling smoothly. Right now, I'm not monitoring any crashes around the metro area, so that is great news. Of course, we'll keep our eyes on your roads throughout the Friday and let you know if there are any trouble spots you should avoid. But now let's get to your top stories, Nicole.
Yeah, developing overnight, a man has died after a shooting last night on Indy's southeast side. According to police, they found the victim just before 9 on the 1600 block of Harlan Street near East Minnesota Street. They say the shooting possibly occurred at a different location on South State Avenue. The man was taken to the hospital in critical condition but later died. Police have not released any more information at this time, but we will keep you updated.
Here at 5:32, the pandemic contributing to an overwhelming workload for the Marion County Coroner's Office. The deputy coroner tells WRTV most pathologists have not had a day off since March. Chief Deputy Coroner Alfie McGinty tells WRTV that the office's death investigators are used to handling about 150 cases through this time of year. Most are at more than 350 cases already. She says in addition to COVID-19 deaths, the coroner's office is also dealing with a significant increase in cases across the board, including homicides, overdoses, suicides, and natural deaths. McGinty tells us that more funding is needed so the office can do the best job possible for our community.
Ultimately, there's going to be a price that someone is going to have to pay if we don't have the staff to do the job that we need to do.
And a final vote on that funding request is scheduled for Monday.
Indiana has recorded another high in new COVID-19 cases. The state health department reporting 8,527 new cases. That's 76 more cases than previous record on November 14th. More than 359,000 cases have been reported since the pandemic began. 60 more Hoosiers have also died with the virus. That brings the state's death toll to 5,748.
In Hendricks County, students at Avon High School are returning to class in person this morning. That school originally went virtual 2 weeks ago after a high number of staff and student quarantines. According to numbers reported to the state health department, the high school has 76 total student cases of COVID-19. While they're returning, all schools in Marion County will remain virtual until at least mid-January because of a mandate by that county's health department.
Those skyrocketing COVID-19 rates we've been telling you about impacting central Indiana schools. And this morning, our Kelsey Anderson joins us live to show you why a shortage of teachers and support staff could be the deciding factor when it comes to virtual or in-person learning. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Nicole. So Christmas is right around the corner, and I'm sure for teachers, students, and especially parents, getting kids back into the classroom is at the top of their Christmas list. But like you said, there are other reasons besides COVID-19 why these schools are going virtual, and one of those is because of a shortage of staff members. So at North Central, students were initially removed from classrooms to stop the spread of COVID-19. But now the pandemic is impacting school staffing. Brad Beckner is with Kelly Services, a company 30 Indiana school districts use to find substitute teachers. He says the demand for more substitutes is extremely high right now, as well as calls for substitute bus drivers, custodians, and other support staff.
Substitute teacher, instructional professionals to support educational excellence and student achievement is critical, but that can't happen without the additional support of the other positions that are required for a school district to operate successfully.
Now, we also talked to Matt Kaiser. He's the director of human resources for Washington Township schools, and he says there have been days this year when they were strapped for teachers, and without enough substitutes, they had to pull administrators out of their offices and into the classroom. So, no, even though schools are going virtual right now, they still do need those substitute teachers and those support staff to get the job done. So if you are interested in subbing, whether that be in the classroom or on a bus route, you can check those schools individually to see which positions they're hiring for, but then you can also go to mykellyjobs.com for more information on several districts around the area that are hiring. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. The time right now is 5:36. With virtual learning becoming the new norm for more and more students, local organizations are teaming up to make sure that families have all the supplies that they need while students are learning from home. They're putting together more than 15,000 homework kits with pencils, crayons, folders, and other basic items that you'll find in a classroom. Organizers and parents say that the kits will make a difference both financially and mentally.
It really is important to be able to stay focused on the teacher and in the learning. So if the teacher is teaching, you're able to find that pencil real quick and get started on whatever the assignment is. And so I think, to me, it's like not doing a ton to go above and beyond, but just making sure that we have the basic needs met.
I just hope that these things will kind of give them a little bit of hope and help them maybe feel a little bit closer to their classmates and friends, kind of help parents not feel as stretched, just financially, mentally, everything.
The kits will be distributed at several locations across Indianapolis, including the Mind Trust Community Learning Centers. Teachers can also pick them up and deliver them to their students. Organizers are looking for volunteers to help assemble these kits. So for more information, go to WRTV.com and just click on that story.
At least 2,879 Americans died from the coronavirus yesterday alone. It was the worst day yet of the coronavirus pandemic as hospitalizations and new infectious signal even darker days. ABC's Faith Abube is in Washington now with the very latest.
American families being clobbered right now on all fronts of an unrelenting pandemic. Thursday, the darkest day yet. More than 210,000 new coronavirus infections and at least 2,800 Americans dead in just a 24-hour period.
This nation was severely underprepared.
A remarkable admission by the CDC director as President-elect Biden promises a different approach to fighting the virus once he takes office.
Because on the first day I'm inaugurated to say I'm going to ask the public for 100 days to mask.
Biden also telling CNN he plans to keep Dr. Anthony Fauci on board.
I asked him to stay on in the exact same role he's had for the past several presidents, and I asked him to be a chief medical advisor for me as well and be part of the COVID team.
The current COVID task force anxiously waiting for an FDA vaccine authorization as cases rage across the country. In Stark County, Ohio, the coroner moving in mobile morgues.
Thanksgiving weekend, we became completely filled out here at the morgue.
California now bracing for a lockdown as restrictions tighten in states like Delaware and New York. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo unpacking a sample box of the vaccine that could be shipped out to states starting December 15th.
This is the weapon that is going to win the war.
But fears some Americans might opt out of getting vaccinated. 3 former presidents, Clinton, Bush, and Obama, now offering to take the shot in front of cameras to build confidence. Biden says he'll do the same.
It's important to communicate to the American people it's safe. It's safe to do this.
And as for that coronavirus aid package, signs of progress here in Washington. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell are discussing a nearly $1 trillion aid plan for the first time since the election. Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
It is 5:39. The first doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine have arrived in the UK, according to various UK media organizations. Both Pfizer and Downing Street have declined to comment, citing potential security concerns. The UK Department of Health says that up to 800,000 doses of the vaccine have been made available as early as next week. The Health Ministry noted that the vaccine will be distributed to 50 hospital hubs over the next week. The UK is the first Western country to authorize the use of a COVID-19 vaccine.
When vaccinations will be distributed here in the U.S., health officials say everyone who gets one will be issued a vaccination card to keep in their wallet. The cards will be used as a record of who has had one and when their next dose is due. Vaccination clinics will also be reporting to their state immunization registries what vaccine was given, and every dose administered will be reported to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. At 5:40 now, let's get another check your forecast with Kyle. Hey, Kyle.
And Nicole, earlier this week we had a little bit of that snow, some salt that was put down out there on the roadways. So if you still need to wash that off, get the car washed here. Still looks like a great time to do it. Get your money's worth, as we are expecting dry conditions right through the weekend and into next week for us. High temperatures today with some sunshine around the area will make it close to 50 degrees in Indianapolis. You'll have a high temperature of 45 today in Muncie, Kokomo at 45, Muncie at 46, and we'll be in the mid to upper 40s there in Fishers and Bloomington as well. We got a little bit colder air that comes in for the weekend and early next week with high temperatures that'll be in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees, but a warming trend we're going to talk about that gets us back to 50 as we head through the 7-day forecast. Lauren?
All right, Kyle, thank you. 5G cell phone towers popping up in local neighborhoods, and residents are raising some concerns. WRTV investigates the steps one lawmaker is taking in an effort to give homeowners more control.
And more Hoosier workers are needed in the industrial sewing industry. We'll show you the new training program that could help connect you to a career. It's 5:42. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV.
Well, 5G towers are popping up in neighborhoods across Indiana. Residents say it often happens without notice.
After several stories on the issue from WRTV Investigates, a state senator is drafting legislation to change that. We found homeowners associations, and even cities are very limited in what they can do when it comes to where 5G towers are placed. That's in part because of Senate Bill 213. Passed by the state legislature in 2017, the bill authorized a massive rollout of small cell wireless structures all over Indiana. Senator J.D. Ford says lawmakers need to re-examine that legislation.
There's some power back to the residents. They feel really kind of helpless at this point. And so, my bill that I'll be filing in January will allow, neighborhood associations, homeowner associations, or even just a resident the ability to have more notification, to have more say.
Ford's legislation would also improve the notification process. He says some homeowners don't find out until their yard is being ripped up. The senator also wants to add more markings to the structures themselves so people know they are for 5G technology. Many of them do have stickers, but they are often high up.
Well, Hiring Hoosiers is WRTV's initiative to connect you to jobs, and a new grant is helping to fulfill a need in the industrial sewing industry. Recently, Pattern was awarded $50,000 from the United Way's Social Innovation Fund. With that money, they plan to host a certified training program with Stitchworks. The need for industrial sewers has grown as the industry has been vital in this pandemic. The program wants to emphasize their recruitment to poverty-vulnerable individuals, recent immigrants, and recent high school grads. Paulina Osharov is the executive director of Pattern and Stitchworks, and she says a certification in the industrial sewing industry offers job security.
Clothing is not going to go away anytime soon, right? If we're speaking specifically about the apparel industry, we're all in it. And I think that sometimes we forget how vast the apparel industry really is and how much, trillions of dollars flow through it.
Applications for the new training aren't open just yet, but Osharov says that they plan to have them posted in the next month. They're also looking for monetary donations and industrial sewing machines. Their goal is to help 200 Hoosiers find jobs in the next 5 years.
Americans in debt from college got a break from paying federal loans when the pandemic hit, but with no new decisions from Congress, payments are set to resume in the new year. Loan servicers are expected to start contacting borrowers this month about how their payments will start back up. This will likely be done by email or regular mail. For people still unemployed, deferment or forbearance is still an option, but interest charges will resume. Financial experts say if you don't hear anything from your loan provider by the end of this month, try contacting them.
California wildfires are raging once again, and thousands of people are being evacuated from their homes. The Bond fire sparked east of Irvine, California. After a house fire, it's since burned multiple homes in more than 6,000 acres. 2 firefighters have been injured fighting this blaze, and officials say Santa Ana winds are making it harder to control, with the fire only about 10% contained.
Take a look at this here. New video shows the devastating moment one of the most powerful telescopes on Earth collapsed. Drone footage shows the support towers breaking and the telescope platform falling to the ground in Puerto Rico. Officials say the Arecibo Observatory's Learning Center was damaged by the falling cables, but no one was injured. The telescope had been used for astronomical discoveries for 57 years. Officials say they were in the process of decommissioning the telescope because it suffered irreparable damage earlier this year. Wow, Kyle, that video right there is quite amazing.
Yeah, new meaning to out with the old, right? They're going to have to bring in the new pretty soon. All right, we got temperatures out there this morning that we're tracking for you on that thermometer. It's 30 degrees in Indy. We've seen temperatures drop back into the mid-20s, though, for you in Bloomington and Terre Haute. You got 36 degrees, so a little warmer in the Muncie area. As we track your temperatures throughout the day, we will start off in the upper 20s here, and we'll warm through the 30s. As we get to the lunch hour, should be around 43 degrees, so a little warmer than what we had at that time yesterday, because I think we are going to have more sunshine around the area today as well, and that will allow temperatures to make their climb into the middle 40s for that afternoon high. A few of us could actually see the 50-degree mark. And then if you've got some plans out there this evening, temperature is going to be right around 40 degrees with mostly clear skies. This afternoon, 49 in Lafayette, 47 in Frankfort. You'll top out at 46 degrees in the Anderson area, and we'll find those temperatures coming in around 45 to 50 degrees here near I-70. Average high is 43 degrees. So we are a little bit above average, and we'll certainly take that here as we get closer to the winter season. We got temperatures that will make it to 50 this afternoon in Columbus and Seymour, 48 for you in Spencer. TrueCast shows quite a bit of sunshine across central Indiana. We do have a weather system that's passing us by to the south and southeast, so that'll bring a few more clouds, Bedford, Seymour, even into Columbus and possibly as far north as the Greensburg area, but I don't think you're going to see any wet weather out of the system. That will stay off to the south. Then we'll increase the clouds a little bit as we go into this evening. That's associated with a cold front that's going to come through the area. No rain with it, but it will bring in some cooler air for the weekend. So Saturday's high, 42 degrees, so right about average with partly cloudy skies. And then on Sunday, we'll get right around 40. So it might be a struggle for more areas to make it to that 40-degree mark here as we head through Sunday afternoon. But on Saturday, we're going to be out at many of the Simon malls here from 10 to 5 o'clock for the WRTV Toy Drive collection there. It starts at 10 a.m. We got 33 degrees for us there. It'll make it into the lower 40s again with quite a bit of sunshine, just a light north breeze as we go through the day. 7-day planning forecast, high temperature 47 today, then it's a little cooler Saturday, Sunday and Monday before we get into a warming trend next week. Those temperatures topping out at 50 by Thursday, and we are dry the next 7 days. Lauren, how are things on the roads?
Things are looking pretty good, Kyle. Here's a live look right now at traffic along Interstate 70 in Greenfield. This is a live picture near State Road 9 where you can see traffic is traveling smoothly, both eastbound and westbound. We'll continue to keep our eyes on your roads throughout your Friday morning commute, and we'll let you know if there are any issues out there, but right now it is smooth sailing. Nicole?
Lauren, Walmart announced it will pay out an estimated $388 million to its workers in the U.S. for a holiday cash bonus. That will come to $300 for each full-time employee and $150 for part-time workers. The holiday payout will be Walmart's fourth round of bonuses since the pandemic began. But the total represents only a fraction of Walmart's record profits of almost $16 billion this year. The company says it also gave employees quarterly business performance bonuses throughout 2020.
Well, Lowe's and the NFL are teaming up to spread a little bit of holiday cheer. They're donating $1 million worth of pre-lit trees to families and organizations impacted by the pandemic. The more than 13,000 trees will be delivered over the next 2 weeks. Some of the trees will be sent directly to homes, first responder stations, and youth centers. Dak Prescott, Adam Thielen, and Jared Goff are among the NFL players who will also donate trees to their local communities.
Well, here's another opportunity to help those in need this holiday season. The United States Post Office Operation Santa program kicks off today. People can visit the USPS website to find a child in need by reading through letters from children and families. Once you find a letter that speaks to you, you can purchase gifts, wrap them, and take them to your local post office. Santa then handles it from there. This is the 108th year for the Operation Santa program. There's also still time for families in need to sign up. Letters will be accepted through December 15th.
Well, all Mariah Carey wants for Christmas this year is to bake. The new business she's kicking off just in time for the holidays. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Grammy winner Mariah Carey is known for her Christmas songs, of course, but soon she might also be known for her Christmas cookies. The singer announced her new cookie brand called Mariah's Cookies. The cookies are available today for order and delivery in select areas. Flavors include some of the classics, including chocolate chunk, oatmeal raisin, and holiday specials like gingerbread. And her cookies aren't just for Christmas. They will be available to order all year long. Kyle, I'm thinking chocolate chip. What's your favorite?
Some snickerdoodles would be pretty good.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, heat those up. Nice cinnamon smell this time of year. Can't beat that. Well, we got temperatures right now about 30 degrees in downtown. Southwest wind at 7 miles per hour. So it does make it feel a little bit colder out there. 23, the wind chill for you. Temperatures today will make their way to 47. Not too bad here. As we go into the upcoming weekend, though, we are going to cool down a little bit. Those highs a little closer to 40 degrees and then the upper 30s on Monday. A downward trend as we go through the next few days. Stay with us. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV.